it's all about peace building, right? Because we have challenges. The president, as you know, he just arrived the country, what, day before yesterday, was it? Yeah, he just arrived the country, and he's been holding meetings with the big security chiefs. So there's that aspect to it, and the president has given matching orders. But there are other kind of issues that in the country also, and that's and that's because of what we sometimes hear of banditry and all this kind of a thing. But there could be another challenge to peace, and here I'm zooming in to the Niger Delta, where it is felt by some that if care is not taken, the last thing that they want is for peace to break down. And because of what they refer to as a delineation, ward delineation in the Warri federal constituency, if the matter is not handled well, so feel the indigenes, the Amoniles, as it were, it could just go south. And well, I have people who can talk to me about that. I have two gentlemen that are Shekiri, and they can tell me what their concerns would be. Well, in studio here with me, I have Honorable Kingsley Temuna. Honorable Kingsley Temuna is the chair of the Warri People's Mandate. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much,
Good morning, Nigerians all over the world.
Indeed. And Honorable Temuna is also a former councillor, Warri South Local Government. And, okay, I see that they've shown a threesome. The other important guest that we have today is Monoyo Edon. Now, even if I can't immediately tell you the meaning of Edon, Monoyo, I have it on good authority, is what the Yoruba would say, Monayo. So I was told before I came on. Monoyo Edon is a former Delta State chair of the Niger Delta Youth Movement. A fine morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning, Nigerians. Great to have you, to see you, Uncle Yori. Very, very, very great.
Thank you very, very much. Okay, since I have you and you are joining us remotely, let me quickly stay with you and put some flesh onto the bones that I presented, which is that if care is not taken, the Shekiri could feel misunderstood. I'm trying to be as delicate as I can in how I articulate this. Apparently that's between the Ijaw, the Yoruba, and the Shekiri. The two gentlemen this morning are, so to say, speaking for the Shekiri. So let me start with you, if I can. Tell me about it, Monoyo Edon. Tell me about why there's even a challenge and the delineation within the Warri Federal constituency. Tie it all together for me, please.
All right, thank you, sir. Since the 4th of April, when INEC officials came to Asaba, engaging the stakeholders of Shekiri, Ijaw, and Orobo of the Warri Federal constituency, where they brought out the document they have now tagged proposed ward delineation in the Warri Federal constituency. But at that very meeting, what they showed to our stakeholders was the final report on ward delineation in Warri Federal constituency. So when the report, they asked...
excuse me, please. Excuse me, please. When we're talking about ward delineation, yes, it is correct. But for practical purposes, it actually means a ward creation.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Very correct, sir.
Okay, sir. Please continue.
It's for electoral convenience, to make it easy for voters to carry out their civic responsibility. So it's about delineation, checking the areas that are overpopulated, decongesting the areas, opening up new areas for voter convenience. That's just what delineation is about. So why it's an issue for the people of Warri Federal constituency is because this delineation is tied to annexing the homeland of the Shekiri people, which is Warri. Now, let me take us back to the Bendel state. Warri used to be one local government. The defunct Warri local government had 13 wards. So upon the creation of Delta State in 1991, it was broken down into Warri South and Warri North. In 1997, Warri Southwest was created. But now, why this INEC stakeholders engagement meeting in Asaba on the 4th of April is more of an issue is because we have seen a trajectory of marginalization by the electoral umpire who is expected to be unbiased. So, in the defense for local governments, like I did say, the 13 ward local governments, we had 404 units. So, when Delta State was created, we had our fears, though, that the Shekiri ethnic minority would be shortchanged in a new state where we have our neighbors, the Anyomas, the Kaz, the Urobos, the Isokos, the Ijo, and of course Shekiri. We had our fears about the state because of our resources. The Shekiri ethnic nationality is very, very endowed in oil and gas. So we had our fears. Our fears came to fruition when the state was created in 1991 by first the unbundling of the defunct Warri local government. Now, in the defunct Warri local government, Shekiri had 10 wards. The Ijos have 2 words, and the Robos have 1 word. Now, when we came to Delta State, they broke it down into Warri South and Warri North. Now, in this arrangement, the 404 units were still maintained. No new area was created, no new community was created, no community was renamed. So it was still 404, even though it is now Warri South and Warri North. Now, fast forward to 1997, when Warri Southwest was created. Mark you, it is less than 10 years when the state Delta was created. Now, Warri Southwest was created, a new local government. The new local government, they moved the headquarters from Ogidigben, that is in the federal government gazette. The headquarters of this new local government, they moved it from Ogidigben to Ogbijo and Ijo enclave in Warri Southwest. Shekiri said, no, you can't do that. If the gazette is Ogidigben, all hell was broken loose. That was the first taste of bloodbath in the Delta State, in the ill-fated Warri crisis. After that, we protested in Warri South. In that process where they created Warri Southwest, they now did delineation in Warri South. Mark you, Warri South was not touched when the new local government was created in 1997. That is Warri Southwest. Warri South was not touched. So why do delineation in Warri South? Warri Southwest was created from Warri North, not Warri South. Why do delineation? They did the delineation, they increased the 10 words in Warri South to 12, surreptitiously. When they did that, we protested. No, you cannot do delineation in Warri South. It's not up to 10 years by your own standard and your own guidelines. And we took INEC to court. And we stayed in court from 1997 to 2003, where we got victory at the appellate court, at the High Court and the appellate court, forcing INEC to go back. And the court ruled that INEC should go back to the 10-word structure because the 12-word structure is illegal. And what they did with the 12-word structure, interestingly, they collapsed Ishekiri areas in Warri. We used to have 8.5 words in the defunct Warri local government. So how would people who have 8.5 words now have 6 words by this new gerrymandering that they did? And then the Robos who have 1.5 words now have 6 words. Although they are not entirely the ones occupying the 6 words, they have Igbos, Yorubas, Igalas, Hausas who do business in that area. So it's not entirely Robo, but they claim the 6 words. So it now became 6 for Shekiri, 6 for the Robos. But we said, no, if you want to do it properly. That's that. Then another marginalization that is making us to cry or agitate all over television to the national, to the public, is that just recently, the Supreme Court ruled that Omadino, one of the Aboriginal communities that make up Warri Kingdom, the Shekiri homeland, there's a community called Okerenyigo, which is Omadinos. The federal government brought Maritime University to site in that location. The Ijos, who happen to, according to them, influence the Maritime University to come to that Warri Southwest, they renamed the community Okerenyigo to Okerekoko. And we said, no, you can't do that. The name of the community is Okerenyigo. We went to the National Assembly. We showed them the Supreme Court judgment that has ruled in favor of the marginal people that place is called Okerenyigo, and that the university should not be named Okerekoko, a wrong name. And the National Assembly agreed that they would not do that. they will put the location into contest. What do they see? This year, the National Assembly, they passed the bill. We heard that they have passed the bill into law, establishing the university as Okerekoko, another arbitrariness. I think that was not enough.
Okay. Well, can I just come in a bit here? I want to thank you very much for, really working at giving us, a complete understanding. And thank you for keeping it brief, because I know that there are so many aspects, perhaps like moving parts. But let me now come. Thank you very much, Monoyo. Honorable Kingsley, yeah. What would you want to add to that? Because you see, first of all, he spoke about 10 years. Yeah. So that's the cycle when INEC, it's part of INEC's duty to examine a place every decade, yes. To check if any adjustments need to be made. So did I hear him complain that it's not even 10 years yet?
Yes, you see, it is not even 10 years yet. When INEC created 2 additional wards in Warri South local government area as against the 10 original wards. Now, why they are doing this, we will draw back that the trilemma of INEC in this Warri South local, Warri Federal Constituency ward delineation kept us wondering that when we got wind of this matter, the Shekiris, we went to court to stop INEC. That no, we had.
You are Shekiri?
Yes.
Monoyo is Shekiri.
Shekiri, yes.
Okay, so
when we went to court,
thought that you were speaking from the Shekiri point of view.
That we had a judgment that told you people, instructed you people not to use 12 words in Warri South local government. That Warri South local government, they have 10 words. INEC appealed that judgment at the High Court, and they lost at the Court of Appeal. 2. And they told us that they were going to obey the court order. For 23 years, INEC refused to obey that court order. Now, just last year, the Supreme Court gave a court order, it gave a judgment, and immediately INEC is running to the field to obey the court order. We are not against delineation of ward. Yes, we want it. But on which template are you going to delineate wards in Warri Federal Constituency? Is it the 10 wards that the court has ruled that it is the original ward in Warri South local government, or the arbitrarily 12 wards that you have created? INEC need to let us know. Now, when we went to court to challenge INEC, INEC sworn to an affidavit that they were not going to create any ward.
They gave you their word?
Yes, on oath.
Okay.
Let me just read paragraph 12 and 14 here. That the first defendant did not convene, that is INEC, did not convene or invite any stakeholder, including the plaintiff in Delta State or any of its local government area, for creation or division of electoral ward. Now, this same INEC in 14, they said that the plaintiff, which is the Shekiris now, merely relied on speculation and hearsay story as their grounds and basis of this suit to claim that the first defendant create or about to create any electoral ward.
First defendant being INEC.
INEC. Electoral ward and registration area in Warri South local government, in Warri Federal Constituency. Mm-hmm. Now, having sworn to this affidavit in suit number FHC/ABJ/CS 443/2024, only for us to wake up one morning when INEC convened a stakeholders meeting and handed us over a piece of paper and said final ward delineation in Warri Federal Constituency.
It wasn't discussed.
At the,
no discussion.
When they first of all convened the first meeting, that was what led us to court.
Okay, to court.
Yes, so and Annex sworn to an affidavit that they were not going to carry out any ward delineation. So how do you want us to trust such institution?
Okay, so
now
I was making some hints that, look, you people feel so strongly about this that if care is not taken, it possibly could lead to some threat to the peace.
It will. It will. Because we will not allow anybody to come and take our homeland away from us. What we are seeing in Warri South local government or Warri Federal Constituency, it is not just about ward delineation. It is about the political economy of Warri Federal Constituency that are for the Shekiris.
And you think that is the actual thing?
Yes, that is it.
That people are eyeing
that
therefore
is it.
Looking for a slice of it.
Let me tell you, in Delta State, we have 5 major ethnic nationality in Delta State.
Okay.
The Shekiris, the Urobos, the Ijos, the Isokos, and the Undokwa, who happen to be from the Delta North Senatorial District. Now, in this same arrangement, you understand that at the National Assembly, virtually, House of Rep to be precise, virtually all tribes in Nigeria have at least one representative there. In Delta State, the Ijos have 2 representatives at the National Assembly, House of Rep. The Isoko have 1. The Urobos have 4. The Undokwas, the same thing, 4. The Shekiris have only 1. Now, with what INEC is about to do, INEC has taken away that 1 that belongs to Ishekiri and about to give it to the Ijos.
Okay.
Now, in Delta State,
if that were to happen,
yes,
the Shekiris
would have no voice.
Would be without representation.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Now, by implication, in Delta State, in Delta State House of Assembly, the Urobos, they have 9 members at the Delta State House of Assembly. The Ijos have 4. The Undokwas have about 9 too, thank you. The Isoko have 3. Then the Shekiri, we used to have 4. 1 from Warri North, 1 from Warri Southwest, then 2 from Warri South. In 1999 to 2003, the same INEC took away one of our constituency and give it away to the Urobos.
Now, I beg your pardon. I know, you see, this is a passionate subject, and you people, you know, you've been, you're deep in it. You understand it.
Of course.
You've been engaging with it. So, but that expression about INEC giving away,
yes,
surely INEC cannot do that. That is why I try to establish that it's part of INEC's responsibility every decade or so,
yes,
to look again at the wards. So why would we have a situation now where any Shekiri man will be feeling that INEC is trying to give away our land?
Uncle Yori, according to the law, if you are to create or delineate wards, your compass, your guide will be the voters register. The voters register.
That's right.
You put that into consideration, then the population of that particular place. You put 3 wards from the Shekiris and gift it to the Ijos.
Now, when you say they've had...
The next chairman then, the DSEC chairman then, told them point blank that you people are not part of Warri. You cannot benefit from this ward creation. They created ward for them in Warri Southwest and Warri North. Now, in 2021 again, we benefit from dividend from IOC oils and what have you. Now, we were surprised that communities that are very close to this buffer zone, the Borodo, Escravos, all were removed from the report. Then communities that are far, far more than 500, they were all brought inside, only for us to find out that documents were falsified.
And when, if I understand you well, all of this came to light when a final report was presented to you. It's a final report.
Yes, we saw.
Final report.
Let me tell you why I said the trial of INEC is surprising to us. Now, when we find out this, we discover that okay, let me come back to the word creation. As at 2021, when this sec created another word, it just used the influence of the deputy governor then to agitate for that one word to make it 20 in Warri South local government. The governor, including the INEC chairman, the DSEC chairman, who happened to be another honorable man, told the deputy governor then that no, we cannot give you this one local government because you people are not in Warri South local government.
I think I understand.
And that local government, that one word was given to the Shekiris, making it 21. Now, at the local government level, the Shekiris were having 13 wards, 13 local governments, sir, and the Robos 7, making it 20. Now, what INEC has done now in their so-called report, they took away 3.
More people of course can understand the issue and come in on it. So I do invite calls to come in. Okay, but in the meantime, I think between Monoyo, Edo, and your good self, you've really given us an overview of what the issue is. Let me take a break now. When I come back, I'll be trying to find out from you what you and your people think is the way forward from where we are now. Do please stay with us. We'll be right back. Niger Delta right now. Our guests are Monoyo Edon, former Delta State Chair of the Nigeria Delta Youth Movement, and Honorable Kingsley beside me here, Honorable Kingsley Temuna, Chair, Warri People's Mandate, and former Councillor, Warri South Local Government. Mr. George, good morning to you, sir. And let me thank you. I hear you've been holding on for quite a bit. Please go ahead now.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to your guests. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
George, good morning.
Uncle Yori, I am unable to understand the basis of the conflict you are discussing with these 2 Ishakiri sons. To the best of my understanding, INEC creates electoral wards based on populations and land sites, not based on ethnic background of the people. In other words, if you are Yoruba people living in one village together with Ishakiri people, the land and the electoral space that is given to them based on the space they are occupying, not the tribe they belong to. That's why I'm unable to understand the basis of the conflict that you are discussing with these 2 gentlemen. Unfortunately, there is nobody from INEC to speak for their own side of the story to tell us where the problem lies. But I am tempted to ask these 2 gentlemen. I have 2 questions for them.
Okay.
In this controversy of delineation of electoral space in Ishakiri land, where is the position of the Olu of Warri? What is he aware? And if he is aware, what is his position on it? Secondly, there is currently what I can describe as a political tsunami in the whole of Delta State, where the governor, all the political stakeholders have decided to shift camp. Where is the place of Ishakiri in it? I was thinking that is what may form the basis of your discussion this morning. I want to hear from these 2 men where they stand on the matter. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. Well, I think we have Monoyo back. Monoyo, as I said, is a former Delta State Chair, Niger Delta Youth Movement. Could you react to that?
All right. Thank you. Just to answer George, the position of the Olu of Warri is the position of the Shakiris, as was published on the Vanguard newspaper yesterday, where the Shakiri ethnic nationality rejected the proposed war delineation based on what we have established before now. So the position is clear. What INEC came to do in Warri Federal constituency is arbitrary, is confusing, is pitching the ethnic groups in that federal constituency against themselves. So our position is clear. We reject it in clear terms. Let the federal government, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, let him intervene and send INEC back to the field to do the delineation exercise properly based on extant laws, based on the electoral laws, and based on the records in their archive. That is what we are for. We are not against delineation as some persons are making us look like. No, we are for delineation, but delineation that is done properly according to the extant laws and the records that we have on the ground. For example, George was talking about INEC doing their job properly. It is not in the place of INEC to create new communities. That's not the job of INEC. It is not the place of INEC to create new landmass. No, INEC is to check the units. The total number of voters in a unit is 750. So if a unit is overpopulated, it is INEC's job to redelinate that unit to break it into other units like that till they get new wards. That is what delineation is. So delineation does not involve giving communities that are not in Warri South. You import them into Warri South. Interestingly, yesterday on the same Vanguard newspaper as published, the Ogbijo, one of the clans in Warri Southwest, they are also protesting that some of their units and communities were gifted to their brothers in.
And that was last year, 2 years ago. He said, there is nothing that happened in Dutch country that people should take it as for granted. That people should know that when you do something that somebody can start looking at, that does not mean that you have your monopoly or you have the authority. That nobody has monopoly of anything. That's when somebody keeps going, does not mean that doesn't know what to do. But I just call on the young men. These are young men. When I see them, I say, look, these are the people that talking about to be the next president after President Tinubu for 8 years. To talk about to be a president.
The National Security Advisor, that first and foremost, they should go into the creek. Pipelines that are in Shekiri areas, including the one in Ija's area, you handed it over to Tompolo Tantita Security to be guiding. And in disguise, these same people will go to Shekiri community, kidnap Shekiri people, particularly the elderly people, force them to sign document that this place belongs to them, have underground cells in Baramatu, against the law.
Well,
some of these people that have
if it were so,
yes.
if it were so, it would be against the law. And I'm not, challenging you.
It is against the law. You cannot have a cell on your in your
that
place.
That is, if those cells are there that you are alleging.
They are there.
So you see, this is why somebody said, I think it was George who said that unfortunately we can't hear from the other side. Can't even hear from INEC at this stage.
INEC need to come and explain, because we no longer trust INEC. INEC, Uncle Yori, it is obvious that the current chairman of INEC is on his way out. Is on his way out of the commission.
Okay.
By November, Mahmoud Tenor will be will elapse. It will be going on. Why the rush in wanting to create this delineation to cause trouble before you leave?
Okay. One moment. Let me just take another caller. Benga has called in from Abuja. Good morning to you, sir.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benga in Abuja. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
We can hear you. Please go on.
Honorable Kingsley.
Okay.
Thank you.
This whole scenario issue really brings a creative confusion. If I'm not making a mistake, this whole adjustment was based on Supreme Court judgment.
Yes.
Are they saying that INEC did not follow the judgment? Was INEC the only agency of government that carried out this assignment? Was there no other stakeholders from Niger Delta, from Delta State. There are no other international organizations, NGOs, CSOs that are involved in this. Because your guests have been saying, INEC take away this from us and give to this. Take away this and give to this. I'm wondering because the people were not moved from their location. The land was not expanded or contracted. So how did INEC now take away from Ishekiri and give to Orobo? Take away from Ishekiri and give to Joe? I mean, we need more explanation. We that are neutral, we that are outside Delta, because the whole thing is confusing. It is based on legal judgment, and INEC was not the only sole agency that carried that assignment. I'm wondering where the accusation now is being laid on INEC. Because it's like some people are not happy with that judgment or the outcome of the judgment. That is just my understanding of this. So let me explain to us what really happened. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Quickly, let me just explain to you quickly.
The time has started to wind down.
First and foremost, let us even
the Supreme Court judgment.
Yes, let us even look at
has INEC not taken cognizance of the Supreme Court judgment? They
said yes, that is the truth. Mark you, Uncle Yori, we had a Court of Appeal judgment for 22 years. INEC did not appeal it. They refused to implement. That is on the one side. Now, in this same Supreme Court judgment, how can a commission, the speed within which this judgment went from the lower court to Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court, it will interest you to know that this same INEC, that's why we are calling on the legal department of INEC to be probed. The legal department of INEC to be probed. Because we understand that it is this same Baramatu Ijo that paid the lawyer that represented INEC at the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. Now, sir,
because the time is winding down.
Let me just land on my on my thought.
If you can, in about 30 seconds, because I want to hear from Monoyo.
Yes, I asked my brother, will it be proper if INEC names Surulere wards, if there is a ward called Surulere in Lagos here, and name it Onisha ward?
Okay.
That name alone, what does it portray?
Okay.
What does it?
All right. Monoyo, would you like to add any clarification to this, such as Benga in Abuja, and he has just answered part of it. I asked, has INEC, and actually Benga first asked, has INEC not taken cognizance of the Supreme Court judgment? Was all of this not proceeding at the behest of the judgment of the Supreme Court? And as he said, weren't there any other national bodies involved? So how could it seem that INEC was able to stomp all over the place unchallenged?
Okay, good.
Very briefly, please. Very, very briefly.
All right. When INEC invited the stakeholders to Abuja first after the Supreme Court judgment ordering the ward delineation, INEC invited only the Ijos and the Urobos to Abuja, and they met with the chairman of INEC. The Ishekiris were not there. You want to invite stakeholders, you did not invite Ishekiris, whom are historically the occupants, inhabitants of the Warri Federal Constituency. That's the first infraction. We protested, but we made efforts to meet with the chairman. We couldn't meet with the chairman. Now, the Supreme Court judgment they're talking about, it was only the Ijos and INEC that went to court. Up until they got to the Supreme Court, we're not aware. And we are the judgment creditors. How can the judgment creditors not be part of that suit? And they said they got Supreme Court judgment on the delineation. Okay, no problem. The delineation proper, INEC came on ground, and they took the job of the National Population Commission and the job of the National Boundary Commission to do. Like I was talking about my own local government, Warri South. My community, Ifiekporo, is in a conurbation of Omadino, Obodo, Oreroluba. That's the community of the chairman of Warri South. Is Ubeji, Ijalikere, and Ajeta. This conurbation, it was compressed into one in 1997. In this same proposal, this same conurbation is still compressed into one. Does it mean that Ifiekporo, that has 10 town farms, that is the economic hotbed of Warri South, the population is not growing there, units are not growing there? Now,
You know what, Monoyo? We've run out of time. We've run out of time. This has not actually become, I beg your pardon, we've run out of time, and this has not necessarily become much more clear to the ordinary listener. It's a bit complicated, but you gentlemen have, been sterling in your, presentation. So we know we know what the issue is. So briefly now, what is the way forward? Because what I think you gentlemen are doing is sounding the alarm all over the place, in line with what we said our subject matter was. So I just want, I don't know who, we're with you. So that, let me just sign off with you. Okay, I'll sign off with you, and then I'll come back here. So please, what you're really doing now is sounding the alarm that if care is not taken, peace could be threatened in the area. That's right?
Yes, that's correct. We are not at war with our Ijaw brothers. We are not also at war with our Oromo brothers. I just want to make that clear. What we are saying is that any delineation exercise in the Warri Federal Constituency should be done.
We've completely run out of time. I hear you.
According to the law.
I think we're going to have to schedule. I beg your pardon for jumping in while you were speaking. We're probably going to have to schedule another program. We've run out of time completely. But I do want to thank you, Monoyo Edon, former Delta State Chair, Niger Delta Youth Movement, for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on. And to you, Honorable Kingsley Temuna, Chair of the Warri People's Mandate. I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
We've run out of time. That's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition